and you're all extremely welcome to Lesson 5, the Introduction to WordPress lesson. Yes, yes, yes. So in this lesson, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be gaining an introduction to WordPress. So, like I said on Facebook, I'm quickly going to show you how to set it up on GoDaddy, just as a point of reference. Now I'm going to fly through that demo because I'd really like to move on to setting it up locally, going through the dashboard, going through all that kind of stuff, going through essential plugins and the license that WordPress is governed under, so a few of the legality issues of WordPress as well. So just before we get started, let's just run a quick sound check. So can you hear me? If you can hear me, please type yes there into your chat box. So hi there Christine, hi there Amarette, hi there Gordon, Donna Marie, Steve, Leanne, Sunita, Gustav, T and Demeter, Russell, Raphael, Harry, David, Dirk, Bandier, Charlene, Duncan. Hello, hello, hello. Hi there, Sue, as well. Very good, very good, very good. Well, it seems that I'm broadcasting it loud and clear, and very hello to you as well, Camilla, and Bob there as well. Very good, very good. All right, all right, all right. Well, it seems that I am broadcasting out loud and clear and getting yeses from all around the planet. So that's very, very good. Well, that's actually the end of the slideshow right there, because this is a theory lesson, but we're going to be mainly working from the browser side of the theory. So let's just close this down. Let's leave that. Perfect. So let us first pull up these my webinars. No, that's not what I wanted. I would like to pull up XAMPP. So did you all see the Facebook post? It's no worries if you didn't. It's no worries if you didn't. That's grand. So on Facebook, I just posted what we're going to do tonight. So what you will need is XAMPP. All right, so there'll be a link to this in the notes. There's also a link on our UWDC Facebook group as well. This first link, for some reason, is not working. Are they back up? They're back up. They must have been just doing a bit of maintenance earlier. Anyway, to start with, we will need a server. Okay, so WordPress requires PHP, and it also requires a MySQL database, because that's how it's run. So because WordPress is a web development, it's a content management system, it requires a few things. So if I go to here, and if I click download, and then if I go to the requirements section, I can see quite clearly, plain as day, PHP version 5.6 or greater, and a MySQL version 5.6 as well. So we have a number of options to do this. We have a number of options. So XAMPP is actually covers Windows, Mac, and Linux. If you want to be more specific, no problem at all. If you want to go with MAMP or WAMP. So I'm pretty sure the X there stands for extensible. It could also stand for Linux. But anyway, XAMPP will work with all of them. MAMP is very handy if you have a Mac. You can just use the free version of MAMP, and that's very easy. So if you go for the more specific, the OS specific ones, the X stands for XML. Thank you very, very much for that, Helen. So MAMP is the Mac, Apache, MySQL, and PHP, and then WAMP here is the Windows, Apache, MySQL, and PHP bundle. All right. So you're going to need one of these. So let me just see here. So there is a few problems with XAMPP, guys. There is a few. Sorry, 2 seconds. Yes, so essentially what we need, so to set up WordPress, we need what's known as a server. So if you have a hosting account, you don't just need a server, you need a server that has PHP and MySQL. And the MySQL is the database thing, so I'm going to show you that now in a few minutes. But if you set up, say, a GoDaddy hosted provider or even 000 web host, that will have PHP installed. It will have MySQL installed. In fact, your Mac actually has MySQL, and it doesn't have MySQL, but it does have PHP there, and it has Apache. All your computers have all these various things, but the problem is it's an absolute nightmare to turn them all on. So it's much, much easier when you download an application like XAMPP or something like that. Let me just see if I can pull up this thing here. I haven't got my taskbar here, but if I pull it up over here, let me see. It's not here, so let me just find this. XAMPP. What you're really looking at with this application is this thing here, this thing that just popped up on my screen. What I want is a control panel. So you can see nice and easily I can turn on Apache, turn on MySQL, turn on FileZilla, turn on Mercury and Tomcat. Don't need to worry about these, but these are the ones I want to worry about. And then I can quickly access my Explorer page, and this is where I hold all my developments. Yeah, so this is kind of just like what we do on GoDaddy. So when you set up GoDaddy, you have your hosting account, and then you go into your File Explorer. Well, this is essentially the same thing, except you can hold it all on your computer. All right, so that's all we need so far. So all you really need is one of these server packages and WordPress. So WordPress.org. All right, so we need WordPress.org. Oh, and thank you very much for that teen, sorry, losing my tongue. LAMP as well. So Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP will be LAMP. Let me see, LAMP. Oop, it's not coming up as the first search result. I'm sure that you'll find a link to it anyway for any of my Linux users out there. I'm sure you already know what you're doing if you're using Linux. So let's just see here. Yes, you can follow along even if you haven't got these installed. That's absolutely fine. You can get them installed afterwards, because this is the theory lesson anyway, just to bring you through the dashboard. So you'll be grand setting this all up later. So WordPress.org is the WordPress that we would like to use. All right, so WordPress.org is the type of WordPress we want, and this actually gives us all the files. Now, why do WordPress do this? Why do WordPress give it all away for free? Because that's just who they are. Honestly, that's just who they are. So it's just like Bootstrap. Just how we're able to download Bootstrap and do whatever we want with it, we can do the same thing to WordPress. Now, there is a legality thing that we should really pay attention to WordPress. And I love this legality thing of WordPress. So you must have, has everyone here heard of WordPress before? Has everyone heard of WordPress before? Has anyone not heard of WordPress before, I should really ask? Well, now I've got to get yeses either way. All right. Well, I'm going to assume that everybody has heard of WordPress. WRD press license. So have you all seen themes for WordPress? Are we all aware that WordPress uses these things called themes? Yes, so we're able to download, so someone has already put together all the CSS and the layout and everything, and we're able to buy themes or able to get free ones as well. Yeah? Well, here's the thing. WordPress is covered by GPL, yeah? The General Public License, which is free software. Which means, and if you remember, the GPL license has a special attachment to it. So it's not just an open source license where you can use it and then you can sandbox it off. The license carries through, yeah? So you can see this here. And WordPress have it right there on the site. Part of this license outlines requirements for derivative works, such as plugins or themes. Derivative of WordPress code inherits the GPL license, because that's what GPL does. Drupal, which has the same GPL license, so Drupal is another content management system, another CMS, has the same GPL license as WordPress, and you can read all about their, they've got an excellent fact there that can tell you everything about it. Now, here's a very important note, guys. This is something that's actually driving everyone crazy. There is some legal gray area with derivative work, such as themes. So if I want to find a WordPress theme, Joomla, I'm not sure about Joomla. I'd say a quick Joomla license. Google would find it out for you. I can tell you here. It doesn't say it does, but I'll be able to tell you now in a second. But let me just quickly find a WordPress theme from Theme Forest. There we go. So I can see here that these are all being charged, yeah? So here's where the gray area comes in. Now, this will actually have a license attached to it. This actually has use by you or one client in a single end product. The question here is, do they have a right to say that? And the big thing on the internet is that technically they don't, because they are building a WordPress theme. The general consensus is tough luck. Yeah, it's tough luck if you want to be a WordPress theme designer. And if you want to attach your own license to the theme, well, you can expect people to try and to honor your license. But honestly, I don't think that these people have a leg to stand on. Yes, they're perfectly within their right to sell the theme, but then try to tie you in that you can only use this once or only use it for one client and not give it away for free. Technically, the GPL license means that I can pay $47 for this and then post it wherever I want and give it away for free. And in fact, WordPress even say this because there's some legal gray area requiring what is considered a derivative work. But WordPress say that they feel strongly that plugins and themes are derivative works and thus inherit the GPL license. So this is a big gray area on the WordPress thing. And then they even give you a way out. So I think this is pretty concrete here, because if you do have if you do have a concern that you want to be a WordPress theme developer, but you want to retain your own license, they're pretty much saying, tough luck. If you want to do that, go to one of our competitors, such as Serendipity or Hurley. They're even listing competitors for those types of people. So there is a big gray area there in the law of WordPress themes and plugins. Now, WordPress holds the largest market share of websites. Market share of WordPress. Let's see where it stands today. WordPress is used by 26.9% of all websites. So over 25% of the internet is made up of WordPress sites. Yeah? So first of all, we've got a problem. We've got a small problem there where it's not unsecure. It's not unsecure, but all of a sudden it's a high value target. Yeah. So WordPress is not inherently insecure. The only thing is that because it's holding so many websites, that if you get into one WordPress site, or if you find one vulnerability in the WordPress platform, that means that you have now found a vulnerability to 30% of the world's websites. Billions of websites are now vulnerable by doing that. So it's a high value target. So if you're a hacker, you're really playing towards the numbers. So another example would be the Windows machine versus the Mac machine hacks. Yeah. So the reason why that whole myth came about that Macs don't get viruses, and it was an absolute myth, is simply because it wasn't worth your time as a hacker to develop a virus for the Mac. It really wasn't. You had to do a lot of hard work. There was too many ways for it to fall through. And then the payoff wasn't great either, because you didn't have as much access to the C drive, to the actual hard drive, as you would if you managed to get in with a Windows computer. So it's the same way. If you want to develop a really robust, a much more, it's not really, your site will be more secure, but if you code it absolutely by hand, chances are someone actually has to take a look at your code and actually define a specific way to get into your site. Now, it might actually be easier. So if they came across your site, yourdomain.com, and they took a look, they might find a vulnerability much easier than they would in WordPress. But the thing is that most people are all just focusing on stuff like WordPress or Joomla because of their market share. So that's something else to keep aware of. All right, so that's pretty much everything there so far that we want to know before we set it up. Now let's quickly just set up a WordPress site. GoDaddy.com. Well, you see, just before I do so, Marina is asking, how do they know how many sites are generated by WordPress, Joomla, Drupal? You'll be able to see it by the code signatures. Yeah, so the way WordPress is set up, it's a content management system. So they actually have WordPress plastered all inside their code as well. Like, they have their own way of writing code, so it's not going to clash with anything else that you want to do. And also, you can also see if you have this built with plugin. Do you remember this built with technology profiler? If I click that on pretty much any page, it will tell me what's underneath it, and they can just tell how it's been built. They can take a look at the databases, they can take a look at the top of the code. Even if I inspect, I should be able to start picking out, let me just see, what is this built with? It's built with Ruby on Rails. So I won't be able to tell that out very quickly, but the code readers will be able to pick out some sort of signature that only WordPress has, and then it will just be able to go, this is obviously a WordPress site, and that's how they know. Built with doesn't show you your Joomla site. Oh, that's very interesting. I wonder how that works. I haven't gotten too much into the back end of built with. I just use it just quickly just to see if a site is. Honestly, the reason why I use built with is actually just to see if someone's been building with WordPress. Yeah, because sometimes you come across a design that looks absolutely amazing and it's something so unique, and it's just a bit of comfort when you see that it's been built using a CMS, because it means they got a leg up. If you come across a site that looks absolutely stunning and you take a look underneath the code and you see the code is absolutely perfect as well, well, then you know that person behind that, the person who wrote that, is absolutely, on the ball. They have got a fantastic mind about them. And because the thing with WordPress, it's easier to develop a beautiful looking site. It's much, much easier to develop a beautiful looking site. You can focus more on content rather than the code. So let's take a quick look here. So I've just logged into my GoDaddy account. So I'm going to assume that you've already set up the GoDaddy hosting provider, or you set up hosting provider whoever you want. And if you need help with that, you can check out lesson 7 of the introduction course. Now most hosting providers will come with something called Installatron. And that's what this thing is here, Installatron. So a lot of hosting packages come with this, and you can always just ask them. So before you set up a hosting package, ask them to have Installatron. Now Installatron basically has all these libraries, all these frameworks, all put together for one-click install pretty much. Yeah, so instead of me having to download Bootstrap from downloading WordPress from WordPress.org and then uploading to my hosting account and then setting up a server and then setting up a database and then link them all together, all I have to do is I just have to click on the WordPress, I install this application, and then I just select my domain that I want to install on. So I have Show Academy Live. I create a new directory. If I want the user to be able to get there just by going to Show Academy Live, I don't have a directory. Yeah, that will place it right in the root folder. So I'll remove the directory very quickly. WordPress is a CMS. WordPress is a content management system. So let me just quickly check this very quickly before I overwrite something. All right, that's fine. Yep. All right, sorry, sir. Whoever that is, we're going to get rid of. Actually, you know what? I'll put it into a directory just so I won't take that as well. BLOG demo, DEMO. There we go. All right, I can leave all those as is. Of course, I accept the ELAU. I just leave the update settings to normal. Leave all these settings to normal. That's all fine. It will automatically create backups. That's all good. Let's see what else. I'd keep that. I keep that and keep the very strong password. Like I said, because WordPress is not inherently insecure. It's just much easier to hack and much easier. Well, sorry, it's just more valuable a target. I'd recommend leaving these passwords very difficult to get. You should not be able to get this with a cracker. Let's quickly just check. How secure is my password? How long will this take to crack? About 485,000 years. Yep, that's absolutely fine for a password. And then administrator emails, pulling that from my email address, fine. I give my website a title, my first site. I give this a tagline, which is pretty much the description. So this is my first website. Two-factor authentication, you can have that. I'd recommend setting it up if you can have it. And limit login attempts. Definitely limit login attempts. The easiest way to get into WordPress is quite simply just to bash your way in. Just set up a quick application that just goes through, doesn't even go through usernames, just goes through passwords because your username is not actually hidden once you can see into the database. And enable multi-site, don't have to touch that. Advanced settings, just let them handle all that, like database management, email notifications, just let them handle all that. Like I said, it's Installatron. All you want to do is click install. And once that is done, it will start installing it onto my site. It will start installing it onto my server. Alright, so we'll come back here once that's finished installing. I've already downloaded and installed XAMPP. I then started the application, and here it is. Okay, so what I want, so here's the XAMPP control panel. Like, if we remember the requirements of WordPress is going to be Apache and MySQL. So that's all I need. I only need Apache and MySQL. If you want to learn about these other things, web development is the course for you over there with the fantastic Julian. Now, so Apache and MySQL, I can see they've now started. What I want next is I want to go into my Explorer. Yeah, so my Explorer, this is pretty much my file Explorer. So everything I put in here will be shown up in my local server. So let's take a look here. So I'm going to want to go to my local host. Where's my local host for this? Is local localhost. So now I'm developing locally. So now that I've started XAMPP, I can just go into my browser. All I have to type is localhost. This is just for XAMPP now. If you're using MAMP, you might have a port extension, something like quadruple 8 or something like that. But with XAMPP, it's just localhost, localhost, and that will bring me to my localhost folder. So there we go. So that's actually taking everything from here. That's actually what you're seeing on the screen there, that website. That's what's making up that website. I can see it should have an index site there and everything like that. That's all being pulled from there. htdocs is a place where I stick all my stuff. So htdocs, and if you remember, so that's so htdocs, and this is where I can stick all my stuff. So let me just go into my htdocs down here. What am I doing wrong here? htdocs, xampp. Ooh, I wish I was using MAMP. Let me just quickly check this here. Apache friends, where is my files? All right, guys, I'm after falling back into my MAMP ways. Can anyone see where I can see my files? All you need to do, guys, is if you're using xampp, you're going to need to yes, sorry, yes, you're correct. Yes, sorry about that. That's perfect. Is there an easier way? No. All right. Thank you for that there, Helen. And if something's not running, make sure you have Skype or anything that's calling out any of the applications like Skype or Viber or anything like that installed on your computer, and close all those down because they're using the same port as xampp. All right, just be aware of that. If you're still having trouble with xampp, try WAMP or LAMP depending on what thing you're using. And sorry, just before we continue, I'll grab this. Thank you for that, Jeannie. Go into Facebook. This is a post from Jeannie that's helped her resolve the port conflict issue. So I'll post this out to you now. UWDC. And there you go. All right, guys, there's something up there in UWDC for you. If you're having trouble with xampp, just go ahead and download WAMP or MAMP. All right, so if you're still having trouble with xampp, just download WAMP or MAMP. Anyway, so now that I've started this up, all I have to do is go to my local host and I just need to find my file. So let's see, what have I got in here? I've got hello. What's in hello? Hello. All right, so hello is one of them. So localhost hello, HELLO. So there we go. Yes, so this is a virtual reality one. So this is one of my virtual reality projects. If you remember what I said, that in the introduction course, you can have so much more fun with the virtual reality stuff. If you put it on a local server, you can have background images and you can add textures and stuff like that. So that's an example of why we would want a local host just right off the bat, because we can do more stuff. Let's see, htdocs, let's see what else is in here. There's also xampp slidebox. Oh, what's slidebox? SLIDEBOX. Yes, that was just the precursor to the one that you just saw. All right, so perfect. So let's see. So what I want to do is I want to install WordPress on this. So let's go ahead and download WordPress. There we go. I've downloaded WordPress. Now what I want to do is I want to put that into this htdocs folder. Yeah. So just so you can see that again. So I've opened up xampp. What I want to do is I want to get into my Explorer pane. Whatever application you're using, just find the htdocs folder. If you don't know where to find it, just Google it. WAMP htdocs, MAMP htdocs. So here's my htdocs. This is where I can hold all my developments. This is where I'm going to stick my WordPress file. So let me just grab this from my downloads folder. WordPress, drop you in. There we go. Now that's all that's left to do is extract it. Extract all. Ooh. All right. Why are you taking so long? All right. Let me just quickly go through here. Note if you have soft callus, I'm not sure actually, Marina. I've never actually seen soft callus before, soft callus. But if it works, if it has WordPress there, that's fine. You can't actually install Installatron yourself. It's a software that's provided to hosting companies for a phenomenal fee. Sorry, for a massive fee. It's quite a bit of money to get that installed on your hosting package. So it's just something that some hosts provide. Yes, I know. I've never seen WordPress open this slowly. 3 minutes. I haven't got 3 minutes to wait. Let's take a look at some other things. Will we be learning how to create APIs for our themes? No, we will not be learning how to make APIs for our themes, unfortunately. But let's just quickly take a look here. So download WordPress, that's fine. Let's take a look. Is this thing installed yet? This is still installing as well. Let's just go ahead and take a look and see what's there. Shawacademy.com, shawacademylive.com /demo. There we go. So that's the one up live on shawacademylive.com. Yep. So that's how easy it is to. So as you saw from the GoDaddy demo, if you have installed Tron to get it up live, that's how quickly you can set it up live. So now the disadvantages to put it up live. So if you have a quick development, and I mean like a really quick development, something that you're going to make in 20 hours, well then there's not too much problem with setting it up live on the server. You have to set it up there, and it saves you a lot of headache later on when you try to migrate it, when you try to copying everything down and sticking it all up again. Well, that can save you a lot of headache if you just develop it on your server. Now the problem is that if you are developing a bigger site on your server, you have to make sure you have enough resources. So as you can see, my computer is quite slow, just unzipping this file. So could you imagine if I was working on this on a shared host? Yeah, I'm using up all my resources. My website will crash before I can even put it live. So that's something to keep an eye on. So using the install Tron feature, fantastic if you've got an excellent hosting package with loads of resources available to you. It's also fantastic for a very quick development, something that's not going to take up a lot of resources. But for everything else, it's much handier to work locally, simply because you don't have to wait for your files. So for example, every time you want to stick a new file, a new image on your new website, it means you have to wait for it to first upload onto your hosting package. All right, just to clear up a bit of confusion, I'm showing you multiple ways to install WordPress. Yeah, so I just showed you the GoDaddy way as a point of reference, just so you know you can do it. But the preferential way is to work locally, because it's much faster and you're not using up any of your server resources. So right now I'm just waiting for WordPress to extract, and there it is, perfect. All right, so now let's give this folder a meaningful name. WP Demo. All right, so WP Demo. So here we go. So I've installed XAMPP. I've extracted my WordPress. I've extracted my WordPress folder, and I've given it a new name just so I can easily find it. Let's take a quick look. So localhost /WP Demo, DEMO. And there we go. Ah, there's another folder inside there. Sorry, let's just bring that back one folder. There we go. That will work better. All right, now I can get there by just going to localhost /WP, /WP Demo. That is what I'm doing right now. Right now I'm installing WordPress on my local server. WordPress isn't an application, all right? It's not an application, it's a collection of files. But the thing is that we have to put it into a database. We have to put it into all that. Now, if any of that's going over your head, unfortunately, you should go over and take a look at Julian's web design course, web development course, if you want to learn actually how this all works, how a database works and everything like that. We're doing this from a web designer's point of view, where we can simply follow step-by-step instructions and get our WordPress site up so we can use it as web designers. If you want to go into the back end and mess around with the databases and optimize it, well, then you're going to have to know PHP and MySQL, something that's covered by a web developer. So, now, to continue, let me just quickly close that down. So there we go, WP Demo. So localhost /WP Demo. All right, so now it's asking me to set it up, so let's go. So first of all, I'm English, but I'm Irish English, so let me just find the UK version. So English UK, perfect, my type of spelling. Here we go, continue. All right, so now it's saying that I need a few things before proceeding. So I need a database name. I need a database username, a database password, a database host, and a table prefix if I want to use more than one WordPress site. So let's take a look at what I need. Well, in this case, I'm going to want to go back into my XAMPP, and I'm going to want to start my PHP myadmin. So sorry, I was just clicking around there. All right, so let me just quickly go in here. So what I want to do is I want to start my MySQL All right, so yeah, that's all fine. All right, so what I want to do is I want to start my SQL, so I'm going to go to the admin page of my SQL. Yeah, admin. Right, so here's PHP My Admin. So this is what I need. So I've got my PHP My Admin. So this is going to be my SQL Server. This is where I hold my databases. These are all databases here. So what I want to do is I want to create a new database. So let's create a new database. Create a database. So I click Databases. I want to create a new database. I will call this WP Demo. And create. There we go. I've created a database. WordPress is going to handle the rest. That's perfect. Now, let me just quickly see what is my username and password for this. Go back to my administrator just for a second. PHP My Admin. Does it tell me my username and password? User accounts. So localhost, and I'm going to guess my password is root. For example, my password is normally root anyway. So let me just try this up. So let's go. So my database name is, I just created it, so it's WP Demo. My username, grab from here, is localhost. My password, I'm going to guess it's root. My database host is actually localhost, as I can see up here, it's localhost. And my table prefix, if I want to use, so this is actually very handy if you want to set up more than one WordPress site. I'm going to leave this as WP Demo, D-E-M-O. All right? Table prefix, underscore, finish with an underscore, submit. Error, what did I have done wrong? I probably typed in the wrong password. Let's try this again. Password could be localhost as well, L-O-C-A-L, host. Very quickly, XAMPP. Password is empty on XAMPP, crazy. Thank you for that. Password, if I leave it blank, I want root. Sorry, yes, it says password. No. Okay, 2 more checks. Try again. All right, so I've just gone back. I've noticed I put a capital letter. So guys, trust me, as web designers, you will be doing this a lot. Okay, so if you're clicking forward and back a lot, it's absolutely grand. Yeah, which is fantastic because it's not trying to install something that's wrong. So WP Demo, I had a capital letter there. Username is localhost. Password is nothing. Database should be localhost. Tail prefix WP Demo. All right, one more submit, and then I'm going to go back and change the username to root if this doesn't change. Submit. Come on. So close. All right, let's try this again. Localhost password is blank. ROOT. The last possible thing could be the database. Got it. All right. So the problem was that I didn't have permission, so I needed to use my username root. Yeah, so a little bit of trial and error. Let's just go back again. So there we have the settings there. So I set up a database called WP Demo. I've got a username called, the username I pulled out of here, root, user accounts. I can see here I've got any PMA root. Yeah, so root, actually I can see there's no localhost. So root, I can see there's no password, so that's fine. And then my table prefix will just be the name of my database followed by an underscore. So let's submit. That's my fault. All right, guys, what time is it? It's 35 minutes in. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. I shouldn't have clicked back. It's already created the WP config file. I'll explain what that is now in a second. So WP demo. Ignore what I'm doing right now, guys. Ignore what I'm doing. Just delete. There we go. All right, okay. All right, so here we go. So after you've unzipped the file, you select your language, you click continue. All right, let's go. All right, so my database name was WP Demo. My username was root. My password was blank. My database host was localhost. And my table prefix was WP demo. I can call out whatever I want, the prefix, and submit. Perfect. All right. Run the install and just let it run. Done. Now I just need a site title. So this is going to be my first site. My username can be admin site admin. I'll keep the password nice and strong. And what I normally do is I normally create an Excel sheet and I normally keep my passwords in there. A lot of people would say, oh, well, that's not secure. I actually find it's actually quite secure because I keep my Excel sheets on a secret part of my computer. So to actually steal my passwords, you would have to physically take my computer, which you would have to pry from my cold dead hands. So it's as secure as you're going to get to actually try to steal my laptop from me. So I'll hold that over there for now. And my email address. So my email address is going to be brian.hurley. It's web.design@showacademy.com. Perfect. Install WordPress. And here we go. So sorry guys, the installation is all the boring parts. But we're almost there now. And we're in. So yes, so it really is, it's meant to be a 5-minute install. So if you do have all those things set up, you're good. Well, if you want to do it this way, well then you just have to go into your host and set up and just do it the same way. Like you have to go into your PHP myadmin. You have this on your server as well. You can set all that up. Admin shake, password, perfect. Admin shake, that's not my password, it's site admin. And my password is thus. So now I am in WordPress. And you can actually do this on your server. So because I've set up a server here locally, I do the exact same thing. I download WordPress. I upload it onto it. So say if I ignored GoDaddy's Installatron completely, I would download WordPress. I'd upload it into my file explorer on GoDaddy. Just like I put it into my HD docs here, I put it into the file explorer on GoDaddy. I would then go into GoDaddy's PHP myadmin thing, which would look actually just like this because it's PHP myadmin. And then I would go to databases. I create a new database. I check my user accounts, get my user. I'd write those down. And then I just go through, and then I go to whatever my domain name is, and I'd set it up exactly the same way. Yeah, so this manual setup happens the exact same way everywhere else. It's just Installatron is just an extra piece of software that you're lucky if your hosting account provides you it. All right, so there we go. So we've installed WordPress on our local server. So localhost /WP demo is where I am. If I want to log in, it's /WP-admin. So here's WordPress. I can check out my site up here. And as you can see, there's nothing there really. It's just got all the template there. So let's take a quick look at how the dashboard works. Well, the minute you go to your site, you'll end up with just your WordPress site. And then when you want to log in, you go to /WP for WordPress -admin for administrator. So WP-admin. And then you log in, and then it will bring you to this place called your dashboard. Now, on your dashboard, so this is your main dashboard, and this is kind of just an overview of what's happening on your site. You don't tend to spend a lot of time here, but this just gives you a few notes about your site, tell you if there's updates available and stuff like that. Up here, if you click this will bring you back to your site, back to your homepage, you'll be able to see it. Click that again, it will bring you back to your dashboard, so it's a nice little toggle. Here are posts, all right? So now we've got a few options over here on the left. We've got posts, first of all. So posts are like blog posts, all right? They're not pages, they're posts. So we can see here they've got a demo post in here called Hello World. So it's something nice and simple. You know, it's almost like your posts on Facebook. Yeah, that's the way you can think of a post. It's just like Facebook or Twitter. You know, it's a limited time kind of thing. Time is a big factor when you're thinking about posts. The difference between posts and pages, if it's meant to be static, and when you make a page, say, it's there. Yeah, when you make a page, it's there. When you write a post, exactly. It's kind of like an article can always stay there as well. Posts are really for when time is a factor. When they're going to be replaced almost on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis, you're looking at posts. When you're looking at something that's going to stay there for months at a time, well, then you're looking at a page. Okay, so that's the way you can think about the two of them. So we've got posts that we can post up, and then you can just add a new post. If I go to posts here, I can see all the posts that are there once it loads up. So there's all my posts. I've only got one so far. Let's add a new one just by clicking the Add New button. I'll call this hello everyone. My first post. This is my first post. Publish. Over here on the right, I can click publish. And there we go. I've published my post. Now I can also preview the post, so you can see all these buttons here. So what you should do, guys, is after you've downloaded and installed it, click away. Click all the buttons and just watch what happens. There's too many buttons to go through each and every one of them. But here's an example of, so that I've clicked preview post. This is what that post looks like. Yeah, my first post. This is my first post. I can see it's got my little logo up here, the date I posted, and I can also click that to edit it again. It will bring me back to the dashboard so I can edit that post. So that's a post. Let's take a look at what else we have. We've also got this place called Media, and this is where we can upload all our images. So we can upload images here, and it's very easy to include them. So what I will do actually is I'll upload a few images. Just let me add a few images here. So here we go. I can actually just drag and drop. Let me just see if I have a few images in here. Slide box, something in here? No. HT docs, pictures. Google Drive, I know where I can find some pictures in my web design course. So my courses, and let's see. Bonus VR, exclusive helper, web design, course images. There we go, images. Right, let's grab a few of these. Let's grab Yoda. And let's just grab that and that and that. There, nice and simple, nice and quick to upload these images onto our WordPress site when we're working locally. Perfect demeanor. That's the perfect. Like simple definition of a post versus the page. Demindir says posts are temporary, pages are permanent. That's really the easiest way to think about it. Posts are temporary, pages are permanent. So there we go. So I've got a few files up here. So now they're there for me to start working. Well, what do I do with them now? Well, I just leave them there. I go into my pages. So now I'm going to create a page. Let's create a home page. So I'm going to add a new page. I will call this my home page, so I'll give it a meaningful title. This is my first website, so my first WordPress site. And then I can just type normal stuff here. Welcome to my site. I hope you find what you are looking for. Let's add some media. Add media. Perfect. My media library, so I can either upload images here, or else I can see here I've got a media library, so I can reuse all my images. So here we go. Well, I can select that, or I can select that, or I select that, or else I can select all of them. I should be able to. Yep, by holding down Control, I'm able to select as many as I'd like. So let's install all of them. There we go. And there they are. Let's preview this before we publish it. Preview. And there we go, my first WordPress site. I've got a whole bunch of images here. I've got some text. Perfect. So nice and simple to set up straight away. Publish. Now it's there. So now that's a published page. So now that's there. Perfect. Now let's see what else we got. So you have comments and stuff that you can turn on and off. I don't particularly like comments because there's too many bots posting around. So unless you're building an actual, something that you are actively engaging with your users with, I'd stay away from comments. Yes, and the preview changes is actually very handy. The preview before you publish is very handy, especially when you go back to edit a page. So you've got your home page there and you're making edits to it, so your page will actually stay there looking beautiful while you edit away and completely rip it apart, and you can keep clicking preview without knocking your users off. And then once it's done, you click update, and then the transition is seamless. So it's perfect for stuff like that. All right, so let's see what else we got in here. Well, we have appearance. Yeah, so appearance. So this is going to be quite important to us as web designers. So we can see straight away we've been given some themes to work with. Yeah, so I've got the active 2016 theme, so these are the default themes there. But of course, I can get any theme I would like. So I can add a new theme. So I've got a whole bunch of themes here for me to choose from. So let's just pick one here at random. I kind of like 15th. No. Let's see, popular. What's popular at the moment? Ooh, I kind of like my big hero images. And I like spacious. Yes, let's go with spacious. Let's install spacious. So I can preview it. And will actually show me what my site, and will actually show me a preview of it. And then I can go ahead and click install. And there we go. And now that it's installed, I can activate it. Yeah, so now that it's been installed on my computer, when you click install, it really actually what it's doing is it's downloading the files to your server. In this case, my local server. So there we go. So now my web page has changed. Let's take a look at what it looks like now. So that's what the theme I was using, 2016. Refresh. That's what it looks like now. Yeah? So I really like this theme, actually. It's a beautiful theme. I actually might use this myself. Now, what if we want to edit this theme? What if I want to edit this theme? Well, what I can do is I can go down here to my editor. Yeah? So this is why I really do like WordPress. Because as you can see so far, it takes very little skill. It takes very little skill or knowledge to actually start getting sites up, which is what a lot of these services offer nowadays. But the problem is that what if I don't like certain parts? What if there's not a button to say remove the gap? So let's take a look here. This here is my header main. So I can see here straight off, there's 40 pixels padding. Yeah, do you see that green line up there? There's 40 pixels padding on top of my main element. I can see it's been targeted with an ID, and there's 40 pixels padding to the top. There is no button to get rid of that padding. There is no option for me anywhere in this theme for me to get rid of those 40 pixels padding. What is going to happen? Do I have to stop there? No, I do not, because WordPress gives me full access to the back end. So I can see here, this is all my CSS. So I can see here, I can change any of the CSS in the theme. Now, before I go any further, where do I see the padding? I right-clicked, I inspected, I hovered over the main element, and I can see here there's a green line up there which indicates padding in my inspect preview. If you look over at the right, I can't really move my mouse, but if you look over to the right, I can see there's padding, 40 pixels being applied to the top, 0 to the right, 10 pixels to the bottom, and 0 to the left. So that's where I can see that the padding's being applied there. So inspect element, guys, is going to be your best friend when you're doing WordPress, when you're working with WordPress, because the best thing is that you can install a theme, get all the work done for you, and then you can start tweaking it. Yeah, so it's almost like someone's asking you for a site redesign, which is fantastic. So there we go. So here, so let me just quickly find that. So Control F, hash main is the tag I'm looking for, and I can see that again. So you're wondering where I'm getting that? Right there, hash main. Padding, 40 pixels, I can see here, that is where it's actually being called from. Yeah? So there we go. Let's change that padding down to 10 pixels. I can update it. Refresh. And there we go. It happened. I can show you here. Inspect. Go up to my header main. It was that. There we go. I can see now that it's got 10 pixels padding to the top. So I'm after changing the style sheet. So I have complete say in how this theme works. Now there is a problem, guys. There is a problem here. Themes are updated. Yeah, so themes are updated. So if I actually edit these themes files, it means that I can't actually update my theme. Because if I was to update this theme, well then they're going to reapply that padding 40 top. Right, so really what we want to go to next, so the next big thing we're going to want to look at is plugins. So, a few plugins there already. Let's go through the plugins that we're really going to want. Okay, so let's quickly try and find these. And what I will actually do is I will find these. So you can either go here, you can either upload a plugin, or you can search here for the plugin. So let me just see, child theme, CHILD, THEME. So let me just see, which one do I want? I think this one is the best one. A few months ago I was going for this one, but I can see they lost half a star. This one up here, child theme configurator, is still going very, very strong. Install now. Child theme configurator. So this is what I want. I need to set up a child theme. Essentially what I want to do is so just like in CSS, yeah? So say we have Bootstrap. Yeah, so when we were working with Bootstrap, when we applied our own CSS, did we open up the Bootstrap file and start adding our own CSS there? No, we did not. We linked our own CSS style sheet. This is essentially what a child theme will do. So I'm going to activate this plugin, sorry, and this is what it's going to do. It's going to allow me to create a copy of this theme. So I can continue to update this theme, I can continue to get all the security updates, any of the better updates for them, but still have my own style sheet linked to it. So let's take a look. So if I go down to my tools, I can see here I've got a new tool, child themes. Let's set up a child theme. So create a new child theme, that's exactly what I do. I want to select the spacious is the theme that I want to create a child theme for. Let's analyze this. It appears okay, perfect. This theme has a separate style sheet, perfect, that's all fine. I'm getting green ticks, that's all I need to know. I'll create a new theme directory, that's fine, I can leave it like that. Spacious child is fine. Primary style sheet, yeah, I can leave all these settings as is. All these settings are absolutely perfect. Let me see. And then I can add my own description down here. So if I want to take complete control, so here we go. So child theme name. Well, you know what? It's GPL. I can do whatever I want with any of this stuff. So this is now Bryan's theme. And my theme website, www.shawacademy.com. The author is Bryan Hurley. And the author's website is also shawacademy.com. Now, it might seem a bit cruel to do stuff like that, but I would highly recommend when you're setting up a child theme, the child theme name, set it up to create a new name, give the theme's website your own website, make yourself the author and give your author the website, and then when you're feeling generous, you can put something in there in the description. Yeah, so this is a child theme created. This is a child theme created by Bryan, created from the Spacious theme. So that's where you can do that. I would highly recommend you put your own name in there, just in case someone is inspecting it. They do see that you actually did take the effort to create a child theme, so that you can put your own stuff in there. So there we go. So that's all that. Create a new child theme. Nice and ready. I've got a child theme created, so let's take a look. Go back into my appearances, go into my themes. I've got a new theme, Bryan's theme, as you can see here. It looks just like the other one, but this one here is called Bryan's theme. So let's activate my child theme. Now I'm using Bryan's theme, so perfect, perfect, perfect. Now what does this mean? Well, this means that now, when I go into my editor, I've got a blank style sheet to work from. So what this does is this sucks all the other files in, and it allows me to overwrite them, yeah? So now I can do whatever I want. Well, you see, because all I've got here is all I've added was a style sheet. So I'm not changing any of the other theme styles, any of the other themes functions. I'm not touching any of the PHP. I'm not changing anything like that for the time being. All I've done is I've linked an extra style sheet to it. And that's what a child theme basically does. Now let's quickly go down to my tools again and see what other things I can have. Child theme configurator. So let's configure an extra one. So let's go ahead. Let's go over and click on our files. So what do I want to change? Well, let's see. I would like to edit the 404 page. Yeah, so I would like to have my own 404 page. I would like to design my own. So there we go. Let's see, what else can I have? I would like to change the footer. Certainly would like to change the footer. What footer do they have? Yep, so here's their footer there. I would certainly like to change this powered by WordPress, so I'm going to suck that in so I can edit that. I can leave all that. I don't want any of that. None of that, that's all fine. So copy those selected files to child theme. And there we go. It's that simple. That's it. Go back to my appearance, editor. Now I've got more files to edit. And now what this means is that I can change the footer. So let's take a look at the footer here. Now, you'll notice this is written in PHP, guys, so if you do want to make your own WordPress themes and stuff like that, unfortunately, you'll have to be a WordPress developer if you want to develop your own themes from scratch, because they're built using PHP, yeah? So there's no way to actually build your WordPress themes without knowing how to work PHP and know about hooks and grabbers and all that kind of stuff. But let's just take a look at how this works. So I can see here what I really want to do. What I really want to do is I just want to take a look here. Space before footer, clear fix, that's all fine, has nav. That's all good. Any content in there that I have to worry about? Actually, there's no content in there that I have to worry about. Perfect. Excellent. So I can leave all that as is. Update file. Style sheet. Let's just quickly add a new style in here just so we can see what happens. Refresh this page. I'll quickly inspect something. There we go. So let's say I want to change the whole color. Actually, you know what? I'm sure there's a button for it, but say if I want to change these themes' accent colors, yeah? So I can see this green is being used throughout the theme. Say if I want to make mine blue, I'd inspect something like that. And say if I want to change all my links green, well, I can see that's been sucked in there, but what's actually giving that link its color? So there's a good bit of research that has to go on when you're trying to change these. So there we go. So I can see that that's where it's getting its green color. I can see the background color coming up there. I can see it's pulling from the class read more link. I can see it's being attached to .post.entry meta and .read more link. So what I can do is I can just copy that. Just copy the selector. Control C, C, C. Whoop. Control C. Go back into my child themes. Go to my style sheet. There we go. Add my new selector. There it is. And then just add my CSS code there. So what CSS code would I like to add? I would like to change the background color. BACKGROUND COLOR to say dark blue. Just for argument's sake, I'm just going to do it like that. Actually, you know what? Just be consistent. Let's go with R will be 99, G will be 99, and blue will be 99. Whoops, what's going on my keyboard here? 9999, and let's go with ABCD, DD. That'll give me a nice dark blue. So now let's take a look. Refresh. And there we go. So I've actually, I've got a very light purple. I should have given the lower values to get down to dark. But as you can see, I've done that. Now I've got no problem updating my theme. So now if it says that this theme has a new update, well then that's fine. I can update the theme and I won't have to worry about all these links going back to green. Yeah? So that's the purpose of a child theme. Perfect. All right, let's just take a few more things on the dashboard. Menus is very important. So this is a great thing about WordPress, is that all the menus are handled in one place and then they're delivered using PHP. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new menu. Call this my main menu. Create menu. And there we go. So I can start adding pages to this menu quite simply by going over here to my pages, my first WordPress site. A sample page, so they're the only two pages I have so far. Let's add those to my menu. And there we go. I've got a new menu. Where would I like this menu to go? Well, you know what? I'll put it in my primary menu and as my footer menu. And save the menu. Perfect. Let's take a look. So as you can see, at the moment, it's got my first WordPress site and sample page. At the bottom, it's actually got nothing there. So let's refresh this, see what happens. Oh, sorry, it's still pulling those in because they were automatically added at the top, but now you can see there's two more links down here, sample page and my first WordPress site as well. Yeah, so I can change that up just so you can see that it actually was changed. So I can also change the navigation label. As you can see, there's down arrows absolutely everywhere. Just for a little hint for you guys, take a look up here, top right. Always keep an eye out for this option up here, screen options. Because WordPress is developed for the amateur user, they keep all the other stuff hidden. So as you can see, there's more stuff here. So I can choose the link target. So whether to open the link in a new window. As you can see here, I can add a new link target now. I can add a title attribute. Yeah, so you can see they're all coming up there. So before I didn't have a link target or anything like that. Now I do. I've got this option to open a link in a new tab. CSS classes, so I can add CSS classes to each one of these nav links. Then I could go into my CSS and target these individually. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to call this my home page. I'm going to call this page 2. I'm going to call this contact. Sorry, contact, C-O-N-T-A-C-T. C-O-N-T-A-C-T. Perfect. I'm going to give this a class of, let's call this home link. There we go. Let's update this. Save menu. Go back in here. Once that's finished, there we go. Let's refresh this page. There we go. So now I've got home page and I've got contact. And now let's just target this very quickly in our style just to see how it works. So if I go back into my style sheet here, and if I was to go with so let's see, what did I call that? I called that, let's go back in here. I called that home link. So dot home link. BACKGROUND. Background is going to be yellow. Or let's just go with F00. Let's just make it a nice dark red so it'll be very noticeable. Update file. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, go back in here. Refresh. There we go. Yeah, so you can see how easy it is to start taking over this theme. So as you can imagine, like if you were developing with someone else, so that's why I always, and you've heard me use this phrase a number of times, WordPress is my ghost developer. It's the person that if I was to develop with another human being, if I was to get into a room with another human being, I would start listing out all the stuff that I need him to do. Well, I need a menu bar that I can suck it in. I need a place to put posts and things, and I need to load those up with PHP. And then if I was working with another designer, I would say, well, here's the skeleton of the site. We're going to have a grey background. We're going to go through material design. That's with all these hover effects, and that's with all these shadows. As you can see, it kind of looks like card on a piece of paper. That's material. That's Google's material design principles. So I tell them to do all that, and then they give it to me, and then I'd say, I don't like the color of the buttons, and then I change the color of the buttons because I'm co-developing with them. So that's why I call WordPress my ghost developer. They handle all the stuff like that, and then I can focus on tweaking it and focus on the content. So that is all that there. Alright, so that's pretty much everything that we need to know about WordPress for now. In the next lesson, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building an e-commerce site. Yeah? The next lesson we are going to be building an e-commerce site for a fictional sweet store. That's the one. A fictional sweet store. The Cookie Shake Shop. And that is correct. We are going to be using WooCommerce because I love WooCommerce. So let me just go in here. So guys, you're wondering what else you can add in here? Think about what you want. Yeah, so it's impossible to use any of these things without setting yourself a goal or a task first. I used to have a lot of students who go on to an application and go, I don't know how to use this. Yeah, I used to give them applications like say GIMP or Inkscape, and they go like, oh, I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to use this. Well, what are you trying to do? It's like, I don't know because I don't know how to use it. It's like, well, you need to have some sort of goal. Like, do you want to draw a circle? If you want to draw a circle, I can tell you how to draw a circle. But you can't just open something up and go, I can't use it. Open it up, give yourself a simple task. I want to add a gallery to this site. I want to add a gallery, plugins, gallery. Gallery. Let's see what WordPress comes up with. Loads of stuff. Gallery bank. Go in here. I can take a look in more details. See what the plugin entails. Have all this kind of stuff. Installation. All that kind of stuff there. Yeah. All right. Now I will show you one more thing, guys. Future of web design. I see a few people asking about it. Divi. No, not all plugins are free. Not all themes are free either. Some of them are paid. Some of them are free. You just have to find the ones that you want most. I have no affiliation with these guys whatsoever, except the fact that I use their development packages. They are fantastic. These guys called Elegant Themes. If you want to develop a WordPress, check out Elegant Themes. They are not cheap, but they are well worth it. I rarely like paying for things on the internet simply because I don't know. I find it very difficult to find something of true value that I want to purchase and use something like that, like a theme or something like that. Divi, I will wholeheartedly recommend them, especially now that Divi 3.0 comes out. That's a front-end web builder. Imagine Wix or something like Weebly or Wix with full access to the backend, absolutely full access to the backend. So I'm going to actually be developing our WordPress, our WooCommerce site with this, but you have absolutely no obligation to buy it or do anything like that. But yeah, this is what we're going to be using next class. We're going to be using this theme along with WooCommerce. So I'm going to pick out a theme. We're going to do it all in 1 hour. So I'm going to go through picking out a theme, getting the plugins that we need, making sure that we can cache, take a look at thinking about WordPress security. Well, say if I want WordPress security, well, that's a goal. I want to secure my site. SECURITY. There we go. Loads of security. Security, antivirus, firewall. 3 stars. All right. Well, 3 votes. 3. That's fine. Here we go. WordFriend security. Take a look at that. Over 1 million active installs. Close to 3,000 reviews. And it's maintaining a 5-star ratings. Yeah? And it's free. So that's actually holding strong for quite a while. And it's compatible with my version of WordPress. That's absolutely perfect. Yeah? So these are all things for you to look at. You have to read. It's just the way that these things kind of work. So, any questions, guys? So that's pretty much it for the introduction to WordPress. In the next course, in the next lesson, we will be doing all that. Are there any questions? And then I have a big announcement for you all. I have a huge announcement for you all. If there's I will go over that next class. I will show you how to upload it onto the GoDaddy server as well. All right, so we'll go through the full thing. We're going to try and get into a full hour of actually picking out the theme, installing, and getting it up there as quickly as possible. All right. The posts stay there forever. The posts stay there forever. You can actually have no obligation to treat posts as posts. It's just a helper way. It's just the way the dashboard has been set up. just so that you can organize your files a little bit easier. All right? And posts can be split into blog views. Like pages are meant to be displayed as standalone pages, while posts can be displayed as like, posts and stuff like that. All right, guys. Now I have a bit of shocking news for you. So please bear with me. I am leaving Show Academy. Yes. I am soon to go back to freelance web design. I have a few developments coming up, which I cannot actually speak about, but they are coming up. Now, I have been running around for the past 2 days, trying to get everything organized. Yes, trying to get everything organized, mainly for you guys, mainly for my advanced students. So, I know that we'll be finished this early, but now, I had a small inkling. I just didn't want to cause any stir until it was absolutely certain. So, what we have done, guys, just for your own peace of mind, what we have done, if you remember the original layout of the course, that we weren't going to touch Bootstrap or WordPress for a good month into the course. Well, what I wanted to do was I wanted to give you all a complete understanding in the Bootstrap and the WordPress and the HTML5 and the mobile first as quickly as possible before I left. So the last piece of this puzzle will actually be setting up the e-commerce site with the WordPress this Thursday, which we will all do together. And then we can have an extra long lesson then to get all that set up and answer any other questions. Apart from that, we will be sticking up the other recordings onto your dashboard for you. Yes, so because I have run this course already, and after putting together a nice spreadsheet here, let me just see if I can show it to you. Let me see here. Where are you? Edit recordings. No, I want to go into my courses. Let me see. My courses. My advanced web design. Oh, sorry. I want to go to whom it may concern. All right, so here we go. Come here, you. All right, so you are going to get all these videos here. They'll be up on your dashboard. They'll start getting put up on your dashboard soon enough. So you'll have all this kind of stuff. So there will be a few duplicates in there, such as how to set up a WordPress site. But then there'll also be other extra information. So I'm going to have as much of this stuff in here as possible. So say we made Pengu the penguin. Well, then there'll also be a video. Guys, I can see all your messages coming in. Thank you very much for that. But listen, so some of these will be. Some of these will have a bit of duplicate content in it, simply because, well, of course, not every lesson is going to be absolutely unique every month. But say in last month we also did some 3D text as well. We also had. We did a bit of creating SVGs out of code. Then there's also the WordPress security, which will be there for you as well. So there's a whole lesson on WordPress security as well. And then you can just go through the course descriptions and click through and see how many stuff as you would like from it. Yeah. So guys, yes. So unfortunately, I will be moving back into a web designer role. Hopefully, I will, because teaching is my passion. It is what I want to do, and hopefully, I will be able to get back into it. It's just for the time being. I will be going back into web design because there's a lot of exciting opportunities at the moment. So let me just see here. All right. So Thursday will be the last live lesson, unfortunately. Thursday is the last live lesson, unfortunately. But I will try to keep the groups open as much as possible. Now, the problem is that I have no one to maintain my groups, my Facebook groups, after I leave. And there's a fantastic thing going on there at the moment. Yeah, so there is a fantastic kind of... Let me just see here what's going on here. So we do have some fantastic groups going up. Oh, stay. So I need to figure out a way for you guys to stay on your groups, because that would be the best place to keep getting answers to your questions while they have another web design educator come in as well. All right. So guys, are there any questions for me at this stage? All right. Thank you very much for that, guys. Thank you very much for all your well wishes. Thank you. Yes, of course, guys. You can find me there on LinkedIn. Of course, we can connect on LinkedIn. Of course, of course. You can get me at I'm pretty sure my LinkedIn is Bryan Hurley, Linkd, Brynhurley. Oh, that's not me. You know what? I'll stick it up on CodePen. I'll create a pen with my. I'll create a pen about it, and we'll be able to keep in touch somehow. Now I am going to be dropping off the grid next month onwards. I just have to drop off just to get this stuff done. But yes, definitely. That's odd. You can't get to the assignments. Let me just take a quick look. Yes, I can still see your messages coming in, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, it's been a fantastic ride here. I wonder how many of my students I've had for the past few months. A few of you I probably know for a good while now. Let's take a quick look. Advanced web design. Thank you. Students finding my LinkedIn profile for me. Oh, it's not letting me in. Anyway, here, I'll post it out to you there. Thank you very much for that, Sean. Here, I can give you guys this anyway, just so you can have it. And of course, I'll accept it. Professional network, always good to stay in touch with all the other designers out there. Let me take a quick look here. Assignments. Only one is there. That's odd. There should be at least another one. And resources. The resource there, though, yes? Take a quick look. Let these load up. Thank you for that, Christine. Thank you. Sorry, Charlene. That WordPress Part 2 is actually the advanced course now. That WordPress Part 2 was actually, that WordPress course was made before the advanced course was made. And then all that stuff was taught. So WordPress Part 2 was actually going to be one of various things. It was either going to be a portfolio site or an e-commerce site or anything like that. You're very lucky because you're about to get the e-commerce site and the uploading and everything like that in the next lesson. So here we go. Let me just see. Oh yeah, so you got all those there. So that's the resource folder 1. Everything's in there. Theory, yep. Let me just quickly take a look through here. Advanced web design theory, yeah, that's there. Practical files in there. Yep, files are in there. There's more files in there. Advanced Web Design Lesson 3. There's actually a few extra files in there, guys, if you want to go in and grab those as well. You'll find some more developments from previous lessons as well. I decided to throw them in there just in case you want some more reference. And let me see. And Carl Surfshack. Perfect, yeah, so they are up there. I will have to get in contact to see what's going on with the assignments. I can quickly send it out. I know that I posted an assignment up here someplace. Quiz, Q-U-I-Z. Assignment, A-S-S-I-G-N. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong group. Let me just quickly see. No, for the time being, there's no plan for me to be doing the advanced course, for me to be doing the January course. As far as it looks, I'm going to be tied up for the next 6 months at the very least. It's going to be a 6-month. So let me just quickly find this here. Assignment, A-S-S-I-G-N-M-E-N-T. Assignment quiz. Does anyone remember where I posted the assignment and quiz that last time? Because I heard some students weren't able to get access to it, so I posted it up here. I'm in the wrong group again. What am I doing? Thank you, guys. Thank you. UWDC Grace. There we go. Here, I'll give you guys this one now. I'll post this out into your chat box there now, so you can have that as well. All right, so that's the quiz from the last one. You'll be able to find the files. Should be appearing. They're appearing up on my dashboard anyway. The the 4 resource folders. To quickly download them, you just go to the resource folder. Is there a quick way to download? I used to have a quick way to download these. Anyway. Ah, yes, and then just download whatever ones you would like. All right. All right. Previous videos, as well. We will actually discuss that in the next lesson as well. So during the question time, I'm going to see how many. I'm going to see if I can have previous ones added to your dashboard just at the request of you. So if you would like the introduction course and the previous advanced course just added to your dashboard, well, that's what we're going to try to do. Essentially, what I want to do is I want to just upload all the videos with a short description, so you're able to see what was actually covered in that course. Because I'm sure if anyone's been with me for a while, you know that I kind of throw stuff into lessons that we weren't really planning on doing. So I've added a few lesson descriptions just to let you know what's inside there, so you'll be able to skip forward, just to get the parts that you would like, and then that's how we can operate like that. But I'll have more details for you on Thursday's class anyway about how frequently the videos will be released. Presently, it looks like there's still going to be 2 videos released per week for you guys anyway. At the moment, Helen, there is... I can't give you an answer on someone doing support for the course yet. As you can see, there is actually no one on support for the advanced web design, simply because I am the only one here in Dublin who speaks the HTML and CSS languages that we're using, or any of the web design languages. I am the only one in the faculty. So we are working on getting a support, some for support. I have trained up a very, very excellent support agent who can answer all the questions on the introduction course. The problem is that when we go into more advanced stuff, you need a bit of experience to be able to answer some of the questions that some of my advanced students will be able to come up with, which is just a slight problem. But that's why I want to try and keep these groups open, because I've got fantastic students out there, like students that are on par, if not, and some that I can see that are actually better than myself. And I'd love for them to be able to kind of take over this as well. My only problem with opening up, I'd love to just open up the groups and just let people post, except the problem is the spam bots, and the problem is the people posting adverts, and the minute people start posting stuff like that, well, then we start losing threads. Yeah, like that's the whole point of these groups, is so that we can have long conversations underneath stuff. Like 4 comments underneath this one, like 4 more comments. All these kind of like long running themes. That doesn't work the minute we allow someone to post an advert. Well, then that just breaks the flow. We can assign administrators groups. The question is on how do I pick the administrators? Like what I will do, guys, let's see. Well, you guys can have admin grace. So what I will do is I will actually just open up UWDC grace. Yeah. So I'll open that up to all of you. So that will be a free group, because that's only for your class. Well, sorry, it's only meant to be for your class. I know I can see there's 117 members there, but it's only meant to be for your class, and only your class should really be posting inside there. So on Thursday, I will open up this, and you guys will be freely able to post and monitor yourselves and keep in contact with each other. And I will actually most likely do the same thing to advanced web design resources. Then for Shaw Academy Web Design, I do need to pick some administrators, or I need to pick some moderators. I just need to quickly review what administrator moderator does. What I would love to do, what would be absolutely perfect, is if I could pick out a number of moderators, people who are heavily posting in this group, sign them as moderators, open up posting to everyone, and then their job would be simply to delete people who are trying to add adverts in there, Like that simple, like share this page, share like. If you remember, there was a description up here to what this group actually was. So yeah. Oh, there we go. More people. Welcome, Sean. Welcome, Shane. Yeah. Oh, that one is mine, Christine. That's actually mine. But yeah, so that will actually still be there. That will actually still be there. That belongs to me. Perfect. All right. So, does anyone have any questions on WordPress or servers or anything like that? Sorry about that little bombshell, but does anyone have any questions on WordPress or servers or anything like that? No? WAMP. lamp, L-A-M-P, XAMP. Yes, that will still be there. In fact, what I will try and do, guys, for you, I will export all my projects and put them into a drive folder for you guys as well. So you guys can have all the projects into a nice, neat drive folder. And I'll try to do that as much as possible. I'll just go on there, I'll export all my pens, so you'll be able to download pretty much every one of those developments just in a nice big package. And that can be, I guess, that can be part of the parting gift. Yeah? Alright. XAMP and LAMP. WAMP, LAMP, XAMP, MAMP. I need to redo the pen from Theory Lesson 3. Ooh, which pen are you talking about? I'm sure I will, Steve. I'm sure I will. Sorry, I haven't. I'll have to take a look at my emails. It will be tomorrow. It will be tomorrow afternoon, I'd say, and I'll be able to clear up some time to take a look through that and help you out with that. Public. Yes, you can do auto backup and update for WordPress and GoDaddy. When you install on Installatron, it will automatically. You'll see the bottom ticked boxes to automatically backed up. So GoDaddy will handle that yourself. If you want to add a bit of backup on your own site that you develop locally, go to plugins and type backup and find one that's great. Content isn't available right now for. Let me just sorry. I'm splitting up my my questions here. Sorry guys, just very quickly. There you go. All right, there we go. And just very quickly, just let me go in here. What was that? That was lesson 3. Our thing didn't stick. Ooh. I'll have to take a look back over to see what it was. Yeah. Anyway, all right, perfect. All right. Do you have a link to that one, Helen? Handy? Would you have a link to that handy just so I can take a look at it? Leanne, I would recommend you send that to you want to provide feedback to Show Academy? Ooh, fantastic. Excellent. I can't believe my students are asking that before someone here asked for that. Quickly, just let me just see. Showacademy.com. Please tell me they've got something like that up there, have they? Ugh. Let me just think. For that kind of feedback, what I would recommend. Ooh, that won't actually come to me, Helen. I won't be able to open up that. For feedback, I would actually recommend send it on to web.design. Send it on to web.design, and I'll forward it on to someone higher up. Yeah. So any feedback for the new Show Academy site, please do send it on to web.design. Just put new site feedback there in the subject line. Just make it clear in the subject line that it's going to be that you want to provide some feedback for a new site, and then I'll make sure it goes up. I'll make sure it gets bumped up the chain there. All right, Helen, I'm just taking a quick look here. Facebook. So 4th post on UWDC. Whoops, Daisy. Let me just close this. UWDC. There we go. 4th post. So 1, 2, 3. Whoop. I think mine might be a different ordered. Below the colorblind post. Oh, let me take a quick look. Below the colorblind post, which is that one there. You mean this one here? Ah. Oh, yes, yes, I remember building this one on the fly. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Well, that's actually well, that's it there. Perfect. All right. Okay. Same. They don't move. Which ones don't move? Is well, what's actually the problem with this? Let me see. Take a look. The articles. Well, let's take a quick look. The width is 47, so min width. Footer. My articles. Section. Article 1, Article 2. That's fine. Let's take a look at the CSS article. Inline block. There we go, inline block. There we go, display width. display block. Let's take a look. No, inline block should have been fine. Let's take a look. Inline block, yeah, margin 1%, that's fine. Footer with 47%. Ah, yes, there's my problem. Take that out of there. All right, ready? Nice and simple. We'll take display inline block out of there. I'll put display inline block down here. All right, so what that is basically saying, so when the screen has a minimum width of 500 pixels, so when the screen is bigger than 500 pixels, I want each article to have a width of 47%, and I want them to display as inline block, which means they only take up the space that they need, such as 47%, the space that the width that I define them as. So that's them there. But then once we get below 500 pixels, well, then they just appear normally as articles. So let's just get down to 500, that's 600. 530, and there we go. So now that we're down beneath 500 pixels, well, now they're displaying just normally. There's actually no CSS to tell them how to display an article's block level element, which will span the whole width of the page by default. No need to add any extra CSS for that. So we just had to move the display inline block down to our media query. So there we go. Sorry about that, Helen. Sorry it's taken so long to get around to that, but there we go. So that's that. So that's all you need to do. Move your display inline block down to there. And what I am going to do is I'm going to fork this from Opal. And I'm going to save this. By the way, I noticed something today. A student asked me today, how do I find my forked pens? In case any of you have been looking for this, because I completely forgot. It took me ages to find this as well, my forked button. So do you know when you click the forked button, you're wondering, where is it? Because it sucks into your thing. Well, forked has got all the pens that you forked around the place. And I would recommend going into my forked pens as well, because you'll find a whole bunch of fun stuff in there, especially anything that I enjoy seeing. I don't really just fork willy-nilly. There's something that really captivates me. Like these hover animations are pretty cool. So if you want to have a bit of just clicking around, head onto my profile there, click to my forked ones, and take a look at what I'm looking at. Yeah, because all of these are absolutely fantastic. Like I really like that effect. This whole border out to the edges. And that one's actually very nice as well. Like they'd be very, very captivating when you're filling out a form and you're worried it's too long. Just get them to click the button when they're finished. Yes, no, that one there. The square effect side by side is quite nice. Anyway, there's loads of these in here. There's even some developments that I collaborated with Julian on. We'll see what happens with the CodePen account. We will see what happens with the CodePen account. Nevertheless, I will be giving you all the projects that are in my public folder. So I'll remove all the duplicates, and what I will do is I will just go through all these and I will export them for you. Yeah, so I'll just go into, say, Challenge with Space Shots, and then I will just click Export. Actually, I'll go into my settings. I'll write descriptions for them, and then I'll export them. So that's what I'm going to be doing over the next few days as well. I'm going to be creating descriptions, and then what I can do is I can then export it, and then I will put these all into a big folder so you can have them as all the WordPress, all the CodePen developments all together in one place. So we'll have the spinning dice, the text shadow, the explanations, all that kind of stuff all under one roof for you guys. Perfect. So let me take a quick look. Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Gordon. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, well, guys, I'll be seeing you all. I'll be seeing you all in the next lesson. We'll have another quick chat. We'll tie everything up, and then we'll try to get you as much more web design stuff as possible in the meantime, while another web designer comes in. But anyway, we will try to keep the groups open. Like I said, we will try to keep the groups open because it is phenomenal. Just the way that people were able to answer questions in here. It absolutely is amazing. All right. Yeah, you guys too. I better actually run now that it's coming up to 12:30. Thank you very much for that, David. Thank you. But listen, guys, it is coming up to 12:30, so I do have to run, or else I will miss the last train. But listen, until Thursday, and if you guys have any recommendations or anything like that, just send them on over to web.design or send them to there in UWDC Grace. But until next class, have a very good evening, a very good morning, a very good afternoon, and a very good night, everybody.